Welcome, Integrative Mystics. This is Ann Vivian speaking. Thank you so much for joining me on today's show. I'm reporting this as Mercury moves direct. I am with that motion. Are you? Are you feeling the forward moving motion? I love the feeling of Mercury moving direct and how we're integrating things, content, insights from backwards in time into the present moment, feeding our future. I wrote a little bit about this in my latest newsletter. Check out my newsletter if you like on creativepsychestudio.com if you'd like to sign up. We are going to be exploring part 3 of a 3-part series I have begun a few months ago on constructing your reality. I've also referred to it as manifestation blueprints. It's a 3-step process. I was bestowed with this 3-step process in a meditation. So I'm excited to share with you step 3 today. Step 1 has been building your foundation of self-worth and stealth-worth. Number 2 is drawing up your blueprints. And number 3 is building your structure one step at a time. So we're going to talk about building today. It's such a Virgo thing. The sun is currently in Virgo at the time I'm recording this podcast. And what a Virgo subject here, taking action, routine, planning one step at a time. So before we get into it, thank you again so much for tuning in. Please know I am on Spotify. I am on iTunes. This podcast is also on my YouTube channel, Creative Psyche Studio. Psyche is spelled Psyche. And I would love if you enjoyed this episode to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. And so today we're going to talk about the step 3. I'll review the first couple steps. We'll talk about step 3. And then I'm going to pull some cards for the week ahead, as I usually do. So let's dive in, shall we? First of all, welcome to this space. We are in an integrative sacred space, integrating mind, body, spirit, integrating earth, air, water, fire, spirit. You are an integrative being that is already in this moment. You are, you will. Integrating and synthesizing many dimensions of yourself and many dimensions of reality. So know that you are centered, recognize your center right now. In touch with the many dimensions present with your center. So in the couple of previous podcasts where I talked about manifestation blueprints and constructing your reality, I talked about this 3-step process. So go back and listen to these other podcasts if you'd like to dive in a little deeper when I talk about these steps. So number 1 is building a foundation of self-worth. And simple way to think about it, like attracts like, law of attraction. If you believe in yourself, if you value yourself, you attract value, you attract energy that believes in you. And we were given this tool in the universe. As we focus our thoughts and intentionally choose our beliefs, we create our reality. Self-worth is a foundation for everything. I have learned that over and over again. I have read that from many spiritual teachers. If you want to do anything, you've got to be able to, a much more direct, powerful, quicker route to creating that is believing that it's possible, and believing in yourself, and believing that you're worthy to create good things, to experience good things. So number 1, if you can build up your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, it's going to help with everything. And it's going to provide that foundational structure. And that's what I was downloaded in this meditation is step 1. Step 2, we talked about drawing up our blueprints, which is basically your goal. A blueprint is a way to think about your goal as already manifested. It's a vision, it's the emotional experience, it's the reality of your goal, what you want to achieve or be or do or have has already happened. And it actually exists in a reality. Some believe in the astral plane, or some say the inner planes. it exists in this reality already, is fully formed. This is a blueprint. It's real. If you astral project or have worked with the psychic planes, you can actually see thought forms. They are real. They have an autonomous, semi-autonomous existence. So your blueprint is really the psychic substance of your desire. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of criticism of manifestation work, rightly so, because we can move into kind of a shallow materialist, obsessive relationship with it. However, people who ignore the existence of the law of attraction don't understand that it's actually already working. You're actually already using it. You already have blueprints that you have created on the inner planes. You already have thought forms. You already have this mental, psychic, emotional content that is working with the universal laws and the universal processes to create things into reality. What we're talking about here is being more intentional about our creative process, our manifestation process. And I always like to acknowledge it's possible to get out of balance with it. And one of the ways to stay in balance with it and to stay in harmony with the natural flow, in harmony with your higher self, is to check in with your higher self, to use your spiritual practice to check in. What is it that my higher self, my soul, my inner being really wants to create? And is what I'm envisioning and focusing my attention on in harmony with that. You may sometimes even get this wrong, and that's okay. But trust in the process, trust the process that you will discover what is in harmony with your higher self, with source, as you experiment. And if you think about it that way, I'm intentionally aligning myself with my higher power, allowing the guidance, allowing the yin, allowing the universe to guide me and being receptive and yielding to that, and combining the yang and taking the action. I am focusing, I am putting intention into this. Then you have what I like to think of as very balanced, ethical, spiritual manifesting that's really in harmony with these different dimensions. All right, enough about blueprints as step 2. This podcast, so create your blueprints intentionally. This podcast is about step 3, building that structure one step at a time. One of the things I realized right before I recorded this podcast, I was seeing a vision of the blueprints. And last time we talked about in the blueprints, you might, as you begin working with your blueprint, you might notice that you have contradictory beliefs that come up that are blocking your manifestation from happening. These are often unconscious. So as you work with your blueprint, it can help you feel the resistances. I want to have a more health. All right, part of my blueprint is healthier. Part of my blueprint is maybe eating more vegetables. All right, I have another component of another blueprint that has been less intentional, perhaps. And in that blueprint, vegetables are gross. I'm not eating vegetables. All right, now we have some resistance. I can tell I'm resistant to get to eating more vegetables, which is part of my plan for being healthier. So working with that, I'm beginning to identify the other component to maybe another blueprint that's not as conscious. And I'm zeroing in on that. All right, I want to reprogram that. Maybe I want to reprogram it with, I can experiment and find new vegetables I like. I can experiment with new cooking techniques to find dishes I like that incorporate more vegetables. Maybe I don't even want to go in the vegetable route. Maybe I want to edit my blueprint, and I'm open to the right foods coming to me intuitively, and I'll know the right foods that are delicious and bring me health and vitality. Maybe I want to go with fruit. Maybe I want to go with a smoothie. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm zeroing in on the resistance. Why am I resistant? Why does this feel like I can't do this? Oh, okay, I have this underlying belief about vegetables are gross. Okay, let me work with that. Let me reprogram that, redraw that in my blueprint. And it might be I'm opening myself to a solution from higher self. It might be that I'm intentionally coming up with my own solution, or both. But as you find what the old beliefs are that are contradicting your current blueprint, and maybe you have none, which, power to you, you don't have as much old reprogramming and redrawing of the blueprint to do. It's just smoother for you. Then you can make another draft, you can address it and create that new blueprint. And it can be a very natural process, like what I just described. Okay, I know I've got a resistance to vegetables. Okay, what can I do with this? So it's not impossible to work with these resistances. That's where your power is. If you're finding that resistance, you keep working with it, either directly, indirectly. But this is part of it. And one of the things I saw in a vision is they're all connected. So we might have a blueprint for being healthier, or, having more vitality. That's the example I'm giving. That is connected with other blueprints that have other values that we may or may not be aware, other values and beliefs that we may or may not be aware exist. It's all connected. It's like a web. And so as you reprogram one belief that you want to reprogram for creating beliefs that are more in harmony with your true self, it helps with other blueprints, because maybe there's another blueprint I want to make that has something to do with cooking, and I've already reprogrammed that old belief that I can't be healthy because vegetables are gross and I don't want vegetables. So maybe, when I'm creating a new blueprint for cooking more, I've already reprogrammed that belief around a positive relationship with food. I can be directed to the foods that are intuitively most healthy and nutritious for me, and delicious as well. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but as you're reprogramming some of these other components to other blueprints, it helps your whole system of blueprints. So know that this is part of the process for creating multiple things in your life and just elevating your consciousness. As you're taking those action steps and building the structure of your blueprint, one of the things that you can do is to, on the daily, feed your blueprint with positive energy, meditate on it, invoke that feeling. Protect your blueprint is another action step you can take. So be discerning about who you share your goal, your dream with. And if you feel like there is some judgment, be careful about sharing further, because you want to be able to protect your excitement and your relationship with that goal. I pulled a card to get more clarity on step 3, and I pulled the moon card in the tarot. And I feel like the feeding our goals, desires with that positive energy, with our belief and meditation, by feeding it with the emotion is part of it, protecting it is part of the moon energy. And I feel like also with action steps, being sure to balance taking action with letting go. So like I said with yin and yang just now, with manifestation, with the action steps, balance that yin and yang. So yang is action. I've decided I'm using my analytical mind. I'm using my physical senses and my body and my muscles. I've decided I'm going to go to the store and just go look at some vegetables. That's an actual action step I could take towards this goal. But I'm going to balance that out in this process, in my building this structure based on my blueprint, with being receptive, checking in. When I get to the grocery store, maybe I will ask to be guided, ask to get a sign what the best vegetables are. Maybe I will do an intuitive exercise. Maybe I'm using prayer before or after, or meditation. Maybe I'm asking for a vision. Maybe I'm opening myself in that prayer to information to come to me that'll be most helpful. And I do some research and find information about a vegetable I'm really interested in. So there's the prayer, the meditation, the intuition, the letting go to your higher power, and allowing the non-linear, the non-logical to help inform you is part of this process. It's part of the action steps. So your action steps are informed by the higher consciousness, and then taking those action steps. And don't give up if you don't see results in the beginning. Research shows with a lot of habits and habit forming, humans usually find they don't receive the rewards and the results that they expect immediately. And there's a period where you typically will have to tolerate not getting what you want right away. But having faith, here's the moon again, in your actions, holding true to that blueprint and that vision, that there is energy here, your desire is real. And if you keep taking steps forward, hold true to your faith and your belief, keep connecting with spirit, with source, using your spiritual practice, connecting with this higher consciousness, then it all works together. You're partnering with divine source. You're partnering with this higher consciousness. And that's where the magic happens. Also, realize that your desire for your final result may change, and you can edit your designs as needed. You may decide that as you go to the store and explore the vegetables, you really, I don't know, what can I think of here? You really want, like, I'll go back to the fruit. You really want to explore fruit more. Maybe it's just vegetables are too overwhelming, and you can tell I can get a lot of nutrition from fruit. I'm going over to the fruit section of the produce department. So you can, and then, you create a nutritious diet, you become healthier, having more fruit. But whatever your desired end result is, keep an open mind that you might change your mind, and that's okay. That's actually a beautiful part of the process. As we're evolving and growing, we realize more and more what it is that our soul wants, and that is evolving and changing. And sometimes when we achieve something, we realize, oh well, now I've done that, what next? And I want something different. I've already learned that lesson. I've already had that experience my soul wanted to have, and now I'm on to the next thing. So when you're building your structure one step at a time, keep that self-worth, keep your belief in yourself as part of the foundation as you move forward. Keep doing your practice to remind yourself that you are worthy, you do have what it takes, and you do have what it takes, my friend. Keep practicing that self-love, and keep practicing your belief in yourself, as well as belief in your higher power and belief in miracles and the external, you might say. Also, do the work to believe in the internal, God within, and keep an open mind, and keep a momentum going with your blueprints, so that you're in harmony with that divine law of that universal principle of movement, motion. Everything is constantly vibrating, everything is constantly in motion. So continue to flow with the blueprint, and know that it's not set in stone. These are malleable, these are adaptable forms of consciousness that are working with us. It's a form of support from the universe to work with you and to partner with you. And just watch what happens as you work with these universal laws and you work with these 3 steps. If you notice things unfold, you want to send me a message, please do so. I'd love to hear. But that's a powerful process. I'm excited for you to try it. Peace and blessings. I would like to shift now to the tarot and oracle reading for the week ahead. Reading for the week ahead. This is for the week of August 31st, 2024. Tuning into the collective energy for the week ahead. What do we need to know, spirits, for this week ahead? We've got the new moon coming. New moon in Virgo. What do we need to know for this week ahead? Tuning into the collective energy. I do feel like a emphasis on service. There's going to be, I feel like maybe some gift giving, gift receiving, people helping each other, being of service, people wanting to lend a helping hand here and there. Oh, the Four of Swords wanted to pop out. It's a good week to clean your house, I'm getting. This is a good week to clean your house. Putting some effort into tidying things up and creating a beautiful, magical, charming space will help you energetically. It will help you focus and it will help you take charge of your life. It's going to clear out some energy. This is a really good week. And right now the moon is waning and we're about to enter that new moon. But just this week is a good week to clear out some old garbage and those cobwebs and align yourself with the energy of the earth and the elements by creating a flow of chi in your personal space. Okay, here are the cards. We've got Nine of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Yes, it's a very, very yin feminine spread here. I love it. Okay. So I'm feeling this week, folks, that it feels good to be productive and to take control of some things maybe you've let slide. This is a good week to get some projects moving. There's more momentum with the universal energy on the earth this week, I feel like. Starting the new moon, planting new seeds. And it feels like this is a good week to continue. Maybe you put some things on the back burner. Mercury was retrograde. We've got other planets in retrograde, but it feels like this week is a good week to take some things off the back burner and move forward with them again. I feel like our challenge this week is to balance self and others, time spent alone and time spent on you, time spent personally and time spent with other people or the collective. So think about, am I balanced with the amount of time I'm spending in relationship, you know, family, friend, romantic, what have you, balanced with spending time on myself, spending time in the collective, in groups versus spending time just personally, you know, with just my family. So there's different ways to look at balancing the personal and the more public energy, but self and other is one way to think about it. Am I balancing alone time with other time? And another way to think about it is, you know, personal inner tribe time. Am I balancing that with more public outer tribe time? But I feel like this week, we can really boost each other up, folks. This is a week where you can give love, you can be an uplifter, and you can receive love, you can receive support and receive uplifting, cheerleading love. So be a part of that flow this week. There is a flow of being of service and helping each other and creating miracles and magic by being helping. So just help someone this week, help yourself, but also be receptive to being helped. Ace of Cups. I love Robin Wood's Ace of Cups with the heart. Ace of Cups is our guidance card. I feel like some of us might have some new love, some new relationship coming into our lives, some new inspiration. I feel like as you're cleaning your space, and that was the first thing that comes through with the Four of Swords, cleaning your space is going to help you clear out. Some of us might be working on finances, clearing out some debt, clearing out some old lack, and then clearing out even emotional guilt or unforgiveness or resentment or anger or some lower vibrational emotional stuff. Clearing out your space can also help you clear out some of that and make room for new exciting opportunities. And it feels like emotional opportunities and inspiration. I feel like, you know, we might be able to feel more loved and appreciated this week. So be a part of that flow of love and appreciation and allow yourself to give and receive. Hangman is our final result card for this week. So that's in the shadow of Mercury. Yeah, so I feel like with Hanged Man, that peace is going to come to those this week who are able to get in alignment with what they want and be at peace with the process for that coming. Be at peace with the flow of time. And it's funny, I just wrote about this in my newsletter. I'm talking about being patient today with our manifestation, tolerating that period where we don't necessarily see the results. So I feel like that's what the Hangman is speaking to, is be at peace with how things are and how you are perceiving things, even if it's not how you want right now. But have faith and rely on your intuition to know how to navigate this reality so that you can continue to have the peace and patience to persevere, and also the knowledge and wisdom to understand your path to success and unfolding that which you desire. So be of service, clean your space, get the energy moving, receive help and support as well as give, and keep persevering, knowing that things are manifesting, even though you're not necessarily seeing everything all at once. Pay attention to your intuition to know how to best navigate situations. I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. Please check out my website, creativepsychestudio.com. I have tarot classes and I have sessions available. If you'd like to work with me, I have multidimensional gallery readings. I'm really excited to share all these new classes and offerings this fall. So thanks so much for tuning in, my friend. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed Virgo season, and I will see you next podcast. Take care.